Back to live action in the Ventura County High School Football Game of the Week on NewsTalk 1520 KVTA and the Home Field Sports Broadcasting Network. Here's the 805's Friday Night Voice, The Hawk.
Moorpark 17, Thousand Oaks 17. Fourth quarter set to begin here on NewsTalk 1520 KVTA and the Home Field Sports Broadcasting Network. Eric Evelhoch and Kent Brown with you as the Musketeers from their own 20 going left to right, start out in a three-wide set. Evelhoch fakes the give for the running back. Stanton runs off the near right side of the line, carries out beyond the 25-yard line, low-bridged, gets to the 26 as Pauling makes the tackle on the play, but a 6-yard keeper for the senior quarterback Evelhoch, and sets up second down and manageable.
Well, now all of a sudden in the red zone, it's just been an absolute killer and deflating statistic for Thousand Oaks. They've been in the red zone 5 times. They've only had 1 touchdown and 10 total points.
Second down and 4. Evelhoch, zone read, will give for Stanton, running around the near side corner of the line. First down and more, pulled out of bounds at the 35, make it 37-yard line. Player makes the tackle on the play. Ended up throwing Stanton down to the ground. That got the ire of one of the Moorpark linemen as Jared Matera came over and had a few words with the tackler for Thousand Oaks, but nonetheless, first down after the good gain on the run of 10 yards for the junior running back Stanton, over 100 yards unofficially in the ball game.
Well, this is a big possession. This Moorpark offense has been stagnant this entire second half. Not scored in this at 2 3-and-outs.
First and 10 from the 37. Zone read. Evelhoch will keep it. Lurches forward as he's tackled on the play by Matt Singleton. Gets it out to the 40-yard line. Good for a gain of 3. You were saying, Ken?
I was going to say, in the third quarter, they just couldn't get anything going. Now, all of a sudden, they've gained 20 yards in 3 plays. So a better job from this Moorpark offense. Really, the only possession they got anything going, it resulted in that fumble by Stanton. So if you're the Musketeers and you're Coach Lins, you're saying we need to be able to get some points, get some confidence, get a lead, and see if our defense can keep this lead.
Second down and 7 from the 40. Evelhoch in the shotgun, snap. Zone read has an option with a wide receiver coming around backside on him. Evelhoch kept it, but the staying home linebacker there to slow things down. And it's the defensive lineman, Dane Griffin, able to make the tackle at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the keep for Evelhoch. Third down and long.
Big play here. 3rd and 6, a long 6 at that. Ball on the 41. It's a difficult decision here. You can try a running play. Stanton and Evelhoch, both good enough runners in the open field. But once again, you have weapons on the outside, especially Phi, who's been very quiet since the first quarter.
Phi and Tolliver up top, a receiver down to the near side of the formation. 4 wide. Snap, Evelhoch back to pass. We're under fire, throws over the middle, completes it to Tolliver at the 45-yard line, and Tolliver will stretch it, spins, and is ultimately pushed out of bounds at the Thousand Oaks 40-yard line. Max Player makes the tackle, but a big gain for the Musketeers and 20 yards on the completion to the 5'8 senior receiver Tolliver. He goes over 100 yards unofficially receiving in the ball game.
Perfect throw, perfect catch, nice yards after catch, and Tolliver has been a true playmaker for this offense from the get-go, and now all of a sudden in plus territory looking to regain the lead.
First and 10 from the 40, under 10 to go in the fourth quarter. Evelhoch motions a receiver right to left across the formation, 4 wide, 2 on either side. Fakes the give for Stanton. Evelhoch looking long, throws mid-range, complete at the 15, to the 10, to the 5, breaking a tackle and taking it into the end zone. Touchdown, Chad Hansen, his first grab of the ball game, and the Musketeers go back on top with 9:46 to go in the fourth quarter, 40 yards on the strike.
How about Hansen? Also 2 defenders trying to strip the football of him inside the 5, and he kept his composure, bulldozed his way forward for a touchdown, and that's the Evelhoch that the Moorpark Musketeers and this home crowd are used to seeing. Great possession, perfectly struck balls, and now back with the lead.
Extra point on the way, splits the sticks from Kreitz, and the Moorpark Musketeers go back on top. They get a big play now, a 40-yard strike from senior quarterback Grant Evelhoch to Chad Hansen, and they lead 24-17 with 9:46 to go in the fourth quarter of the Ventura County High School Football Game of the Week Brought to you by our friends at the County Schools Federal Credit Union, Ventura's only education credit union. Swing on over to the corner of Market and Eastman or log on to csfcu.org and thank them for supporting your school. Also brought to you by the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Student athletes, you can get some spirituality with your sports by joining a huddle on your campus. For more information, visit fca.org. The Fellowship of Christian Athletes, proud sponsors of the Ventura County High School Football Game of the Week.
Well, you talk about an answer. There's your answer, 80 yards, and just a great possession almost all through the air. And that is the Evelhoch that this Moorpark crowd is used to seeing. And I tell you what, if you're the home team, and especially if you're Coach Linz, you have to be very pleased with what you saw there.
Kreitz set to kick the ball away, left to right. Line drive will be fielded by Howell at the 5, crossing the 15 to the 20. Howell, plenty of room, bosses the 30-yard line. Two tacklers trying to get him. It takes a third before they finally stop him at the 35-yard line. Boy, he had initial contact from Matt Lee, but he needed help to finally put down big Blake Howell, 6'5", 205. That senior does not go down easy, and it's 1st and 10 Lancers from their own 36-yard line.
Remember, we saw a pretty crazy final 4 or 5 minutes in that second quarter, and now all of a sudden you have to think this offense still has to be confident. Even though they didn't score a touchdown in their last possession, if you're Thousand Oaks, you're the Lancers, and more importantly, your quarterback, Clark Abrus, you have to be confident that you can move the football. On the other hand, Moorpark now knows we have the lead. We're up 7. What can this defense do to maybe force a turnover and really try to pull ahead?
4-4 defense. Aberrisk in the shotgun. Snap will turn and hand for DeBakis. DeBakis works the left side of the line. He is stopped initially by Tony Mack. The linebackers fill forward and stop him for no gain, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they went with that 4-4 stack, and that time it was the right call because it was a simple inside play, try to go between the tackles, nothing doing, and it's back to 2nd and 10. And this Moorpark defense, I think they've looked better today when they've had the lead. It seems like when they've chipped away and all of a sudden they've been on their heels, it's been tougher. But now with you have the lead, watch out for somebody like 44, Jace Foster, the defensive end, trying to make a play. Switched from right end to left end on this play.
Aberrisk in the shotgun, DeBakis behind him, 2 receivers on the near side of the formation. One receiver on either side of the set. Aberrisk will pass. Pump fake, under fire, pocket collapsing, rolling to the near side of the field. Aberrisk running for his life, and he'll get out of bounds at the 36, maybe 37-yard line. A gain of 1, but good escapability for Clark Aberrisk just to prevent the sack from going there. He's already been caught 3 times in the backfield tonight by that Moorpark defense.
Yeah, almost clipped at the 32. Instead, he's able to pick up a yard and get past the line of scrimmage. Not nearly as mobile as Grant Evelhoch, but he shows the ability to get out of the pocket and still be able to make a play. And now, this is crucial. Can the Moorpark defense force their first 3 and out here in the second half?
2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Aberrisk in a shotgun with DeBakis behind him. He'll split him out to the left. Aberrisk back to pass. 4-man rush, and Jace Foster will pick up his 3rd sack of the game, absolutely whipping around the offensive lineman on the left side of the Thousand Oaks line, back to the 28-yard line. A big-time loss and a punt upcoming for Thousand Oaks.
And that's also his 2nd sack tonight in 3rd and long. So Jace Foster, really the great pass rusher for this team. And they ended up losing 8 yards on that possession, time to punt, and back deep is one of the best playmakers for Moorpark. It's Alex Tolliver.
This is a big moment in the ball game for Moorpark as the clock runs with 8:05 to go in the 4th quarter. A chance to put this one in control. Ball will be booted away by the punter, Wadman. Tolliver, drifting back, has to make the fair catch at his own 30-yard line, and that's where the green and gold will take it, going left to right. In the 4th quarter here on the Ventura County High School Football Game of the Week, Eric Evelhoch and Kent Brown happy to be with you on NewsTalk 1520 KVTA and streaming around the world at homefieldsports.com on the Homefield Sports Broadcasting Network.
That was a heck of a punt. Field position is important when you're down in the game. When you're up, no matter what, field position is important, but especially right now for Thousand Oaks, you want to be able to pin them and force Moorpark to go 70 yards, which is where they are right now. But last possession, they went 80 yards pretty easily, mainly from the arm of Grant Evelhoch.
He's got over 200 yards yards unofficially in the ball game does Rohach. Has trips to the near side of the set as he takes the snap. Fakes the give for Stanton. Takes it off the right side of the line. And able to work forward for about 4 yards on the zone read keeper for Grant Rohach. 2nd down and 6 forthcoming.
Yeah, nothing pretty, but you pick up 4. You're ahead of the chains. If you pick up 4 yards every play, in theory, you'll never be stopped. So, again, he didn't see anything. Rohach just says, I'll move forward, I'll pick up whatever yardage I need, and we'll play for 2nd and medium.
And this Moorpark field, one of the only places you can go 3 yards in a cloud of dust in the Marmonte League. Everybody else plays on field turf. On 2nd down and 6, give us for Tolliver. Breaking tackles, stiff arm at the 40-yard line, pushed out of bounds at the 45. Aaron Stanton, I should say, taking the run out of the backfield and a big-time gain. Good for a total of 11 yards and a Musketeer first down. Stanton with over 100 yards unofficially on the evening.
And that's the Stanton we saw in the first half. Third quarter, a bit rough, especially that fumble, which really hurt the team. They were moving inside the 30, but Stanton's bounced back nicely with his best run of the second half.
1st and 10, ball on the far side hash at the 45-yard line. Rohach under center, 2 receivers to the far side of the set, 1 to the near against the 4-3 defense. He'll give for Stanton. Counter to the right. Stanton slips away from one tackler, brought down by the second at the 49-yard line. Again, 4 yards on the run on 1st down.
And Stanton needs to watch. Not high and tight on that time. It was high the way he held it, but kind of away from his body. And when you're 5'7", it's easy for the defense to maybe knock it loose if you don't keep it tight towards your body. So watch out for that. That time kind of fortunate that the defensive player tackled him from the legs, because if he went for the strip, might have been able to get it.
2nd down and 6, 2 receivers to the near side of the set, 1 to the far. Rohach in a shotgun with Stanton standing to his right. The snap, zone read, will give for Stanton. Runs across the left side of the line, has the first down and more into Thousand Oaks territory, down at the 41-yard line. A gain of 10 on the run, and the Musketeers move the chains again, leading 24-17, 6:13 to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, the other thing that if you're Moorpark, you'd love to be able to do, as Coach Linz, is score a touchdown and kill the clock. It's right at the midway point of the 4th. They'd love to be able to score with maybe about 2.5 minutes left and go up 2 possessions. In no hurry if you're Moorpark.
5 wide on the Musketeers. Rohach will motion Stanton from the slot on the far side, options it to him running to the right. Stanton to the 40-yard line. Good tackle there. Stepping up and stopping him after a 3-yard gain is Max Player.
And good decision by Rohach to pitch it there. Stanton, though, the one thing is, only being 5'7", it went up to past his shoulder. He had to really one-hand the catch, and that's kind of one of those things. If you're Rohach, you just have to say you got to make the catch. But good decision by the quarterback to pitch on that option keeper. But the difference is, with 5'7", you got to make sure you pitch it a little bit lower, because if Stanton was about an inch shorter, that might have went right over his head.
2nd down and 7. Rohach under center. 2 receivers to the far side of the set, 1 to the near. Outside linebacker showing blitz. The give for Stanton. Breaks through the blitzing linebacker. Gets beyond the 40-yard line. Out to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup and a 3rd down and 5 forthcoming.
Greeley went for the kill, the outside linebacker, and Stanton pretty much just shook him away and picked up about 3 or 4 yards. And that's what he does. We talked about in the first half being very impressed. He hardly ever goes down on initial contact, and instead of being 3rd and 9, they're now a manageable 3rd and 5.
4 wide, 2 on either side. Rohach in the shotgun. Outside backers show blitz again. Fake. Rohach throws out, and he's intercepted at the 45-yard line. Crossing the 50, 45-40. Needs a block. Rohach, he breaks away from him. It's Blake Howell to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! Thousand Oaks Lancers! Blake Howell has a 73-yard touchdown receiving. Now takes an interception, 60 yards back for a score, and we're a Sutcliffe extra point away from an even game with 4:25 to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that time he tried forcing it to Fay. Should have went towards the back shoulder near the sideline. Instead, he put it towards the front shoulder, and it was an easy interception. A great play by Blake Howell in the open. And how about Blake Howell tonight? 2 73-yard touchdowns, 1 on the offensive end, 1 on the defensive end, and all of a sudden we might be seeing another overtime game. Remember last year, it went to overtime.
And of course, the 2-point conversion gave Thousand Oaks the victory. Mike Liben's Lancers need the extra point here, though. Snap down, kick up, on the way, hang it high, and put it on the board. Extra point is good from kicker Jamie Sutcliffe, and the score 24-24 with 4:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Just how quickly, Kent Brown, momentum can change under the Friday night lights.
Yeah, you throw one bad pass and it results in 7 points. You're in plus territory. Worst case, you probably look at a punt. You force them deep. Instead, all of a sudden, momentum is back with the opposition with Thousand Oaks. But on the other hand, the good thing is if you're the quarterback, you're Grant Rohach, you can get the football right back and potentially go on a game-winning drive here. And your last 2 possessions on offense, Thousand Oaks really hasn't stopped you. So I think if you're Rohach in this offense, you say, hey guys, I just made a huge mistake. It's all on me. Block for me, wide receivers get open, Stanton run through the holes, and we still have a pretty good chance here to score some points and find a way to win.
And Coach Tim Lins on the sidelines remains composed. That's what happens when you're getting ready to go into the NAIA Hall of Fame, a 2-year All-American player at California Lutheran. He'll go in this weekend. However, he wants to see his Musketeers come away with a victory tonight. He'll see the return for Foster, crossing the 20-yard line to the 25. Foster the 30, 35-yard line, tries to cut it back, breaks away from one tackler, stiff arms another to the 35-yard line. Player finally brings him down just shy of the 45-yard line. But a great return in special teams for Jace Foster out to the 37-yard line, and that's where the Musketeers will take it, going left to right with 4:13 to go in the fourth quarter in a ball game now tied 24-24.
Pretty good field position, 38. We've seen a lot out of the field goal kicker Jamie Sutcliffe for Thousand Oaks. We haven't seen much from Eric Kreitz, the Moorpark Musketeers kicker, so we've got to think you have to probably go deep before you feel really comfortable trying to kick a field goal. But with 4:13 left, the way Rohach passed 2 possessions ago, there's no doubt that this Moorpark offense can still move the football.
Jace Foster in at tailback now. Rohach will turn and hand for him. Tries to run to the left side of the line. He'll be brought down after a gain of 1, and all fired up making the tackle on the play is Dane Griffin, and a whistle and a timeout taken as you have a Musketeer player down on his back. This is Jared Matera after the 2-yard pickup. Clock should be stopped, and the officials will wait to determine how much time should remain on it, as it still has not stopped yet. Still rolling under 4 minutes, but this one should probably be stopped, with around 4 minutes, 5 seconds or so to go?
I was thinking maybe 4:03, 4:04 exactly, right in that time frame. It's interesting, Stanton doesn't look to be injured. He's down on the sidelines, helmet on his hip, standing there right near the sideline looking to maybe go back in. Maybe the coach is upset with Stanton on that last offensive possession. You know, he's not the one that threw the pass, so you never know exactly what the coach's decision is, but all of a sudden you have Stanton out of the game, Jace Foster in the game for tailback, and that's a much different offense if you take out Stanton and put in Foster.
To be said, though, Jace Foster, 5'11", 195 pounds, has been an absolute bull rushing on the defensive end, and you saw the spark in special teams with his returning of that last kick around 35 yards. Maybe Coach Lynn's looking to spark the boys, putting the senior defensive end, giving him an opportunity to work the ball as a running back. It'll be 2nd down and 8 when we return to action. The clock has been reset to 4:13 to go in the fourth quarter. Eric Evelhoch and Kent Brown with you on the Ventura County High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by the County Schools Federal Credit Union, Ventura's only education credit union. Swing on over to the corner of Market and Eastman or log on to csfcu.org and thank them for supporting your school. Impressive stuff in this ball game from both sides. Grant Rohach has thrown for 2 touchdowns, has run for another, but a pair of interceptions, one by Nathan DeBakis and one, most recently, by the 6'5", 205-pound senior Blake Howell. A interception return for touchdown has now put us at a 24-24 score.
Yeah, how about Howell? 2 73-yard touchdowns tonight, one on offense, one on defense. So he has been quite a playmaker. And now limping off the field, it appears to be Austin Munoz. So that's another offensive lineman you lose, and all of a sudden that's a big deal, as Moorpark's offensive line hasn't really done the job it did in the first half, but Munoz looks to be a leg injury, maybe an ankle or knee. They're helping him off the field, but all of a sudden you have 4 minutes, 13 seconds left, plenty of time, ball on the 40, so 60 yards away from the end zone, And Evelhoch has had a pretty good game. I know Evelhoch just threw the pick, but he has weapons all around. Stanton has his helmet back on. At least appears he might get back in this game at some point. Yeah, Stanton's going to go back in as running back, and so out of the game now will be Jace Foster. So I think, what would you do? I think running the footballs you could easily do, pass the football. This offense is multiple, and I have no doubts that if they play smart, they'll be in position here for a potential win.
Yeah, the lineman carried off the field, not putting any weight on his right leg. Looked like initially it was 59, Jared Matera. Nonetheless, 2nd down and 8. Evelhoch in the shotgun, snap, back to pass. Has a screen set up for Tolliver. It's pass. It's incomplete. Thousand Oaks rushing after it as if it is a fumble, and Evelhoch got absolutely blown up on the play. This is going to be a personal foul, roughing the passer penalty, and Evelhoch struggling to get to his feet here after he got absolutely leveled on the play. Penalty, personal foul against Thousand Oaks, and the Musketeers will have a 1st down.
And they're going to at least put the helmet on a potential backup quarterback in Austin Cole, just in case Evelhoch is a bit shaken up. But it looks like Evelhoch is fine, will stay in. And instead of the ball being on the 40, it's going to go all the way down into plus territory at the Thousand Oaks 45-yard line. So now with 4 minutes left, Eric, plenty of time for this offense to get something going.
24-24. Every play in the playbook got to be in play for Moorpark, considering they have their whole host of timeouts remaining in this ball game. The work from a 4-wide set. Foster and Tolliver to the far side, 2 receivers to the near. Lone setback is Stanton. From under center, Evelhoch will give for Stanton. Stanton gobbled up in the backfield, able to drive forward and pick up 1 yard as he's brought down on the play by Scott Marco.
Yeah, good tackle by Marco, but that time it was a really nice push from the interior defensive line of Thousand Oaks. It was a pretty good tackle, but at the same point, there wasn't really anywhere that Stanton could have went, and now it's 2nd and 9. And this Moorpark offensive line, especially now with the injury of Matero, they're in a little bit of trouble.
2nd down and 9, 4 wide to either side for Evelhoch. Snap, almost dropped it, pump fake. Now looking down on the far side for Foster, complete at the 25-yard line, and he'll be pushed out of bounds by Howell, just shy of the 20-yard line. A big completion for Grant Evelhoch, hooking up with his big 6'5 senior target, Kenny Fye.
Yeah, Fye that time just basically on a go route. Little pump fake, left Fye wide open, perfectly placed. He held on to the football. Remember, Fye has had 2 fumbles today. Both were recovered by Moorpark, but that time held on to it, got out of bounds at the 21, and just outside of the red zone are the home team. Moorpark trying to strike and regain this lead.
1st and 10 from the 21. Evelhoch looks to the sideline, has 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Stanton stands to his right. Evelhoch takes the snap, will give for Stanton, and he's gobbled up in the backfield. Great defensive pressure forward from the defensive line for the Lancers. Makes a loss of 1 on the play. No, back to the original line of scrimmage.
And a bad exchange. That time it was not fluid. It looked like between Stanton and Evelhoch, they couldn't agree on who's going to get the football, and eventually Evelhoch just kind of pushed it right into the stomach of Stanton, and by that time there were already 2 defenders in pursuit, able to get him for the loss.
2:50. Clock continues to turn in the 4th quarter of a 24-24 ball game. Moorpark Musketeers going left to right across your radio dial. Evelhoch in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the near side. Tolliver alone up top. Stanton the lone setback and a flag from the back judge. This will be delay of game. 5 yards backwards go the Musketeers, and they now face a 2nd down and 15.
That's huge. When you get down in the red area or right outside of it, you cannot afford mental mistakes. And when it's a delay of game, it's usually either one of 2. It's either on the quarterback or the coaches, or usually both. And this time, rather than 2nd and 10, it's now 2nd and 15. And when you get in yardage like this behind the sticks, this is when you force passes. And last time we saw, this defense is capitalistic.
Trips to the side of the near side of the set. Snap to Evelhoch. Rolls to that near side. Looking, throwing deep. And he's intercepted at the 5-yard line. Picked off by Max Player. 3rd interception of the ball game by the Thousand Oaks defense. They've been winning the turnover battle all night, and with 2:27 but a long distance of field to go, they have an opportunity to try and break a 24-24 deadlock.
Great play by Max Player, able to jump in front of it. And as I said, you start forcing passes when you get behind on down and distance. And that time, Player was ready for it, jumped ahead of the wide out. And now they have a lot of yards to go, as you said, 92 yards. But with 2:27 left and a quarterback playing as efficiently as Aberisk, it's going to be interesting.
One wide receiver alone up top. Aberisk the snap will give for DeBakis. DeBakis running right, crosses the 10. DeBakis steps through one tackler, takes on another to the 15, to the 20. DeBakis almost broke that one free, but caught from behind by Jace Foster at the 26-yard line. A big run for the junior running back DeBakis, and it gets Thousand Oaks out of the shadow of their own end zone.
In the first half, DeBakis didn't have much opportunity to run the football with any sort of space. This second half, he's been rewarded that opportunity, and he's taken full advantage of that chance. And now DeBakis is picking off 5, 10, 15. He's at a couple 20-plus yard carries. The 5'11", 171-pound junior has really done a shot. I should say the 6'1", 171-pound junior has done a great job here in the second half of running the football.
Goes over 100 yards unofficially on the game with the carry. Mesh, give, complete, and it's going to be run for a first down and more. Breaking a tackle at the 40 to the 45-yard line, pushed out of bounds. Shy of the 50, flag comes in late as taking the run for Thousand Oaks is A.J. Sheehan, a wide receiver inside. Mesh, give, another big-time run, catches the Musketeers by surprise. Good for a gain of 20-plus yards, and the penalty goes as a hit to the head against Moorpark. That's 15 yards, 1:41 to go, and Thousand Oaks driving big time offensively, a chance to take the lead for the first time in the ball game.
Now we know Jamie Sutcliffe has a leg. He's shown distance. Even when he missed a 41-yarder, it was long enough, it was far enough. However, he hasn't been too accurate so far. But on that play, Sheehan with a nice carry, the 15-yard hit to the head, and all of a sudden they're back to the 37-yard line in Moorpark territory. And with 1:41 left, it's going to be up to Moorpark here to try to contain this offense, because any more yardage, and you got to think they're going to at least attempt a long field goal.
23 yards on the run for Sheehan. Aberisk in the shotgun. Will motion Pauling from right to left across the formation. He's got two receivers down there as well. Toss for DeBakis. Gives back. Flip for Aberisk. Looking deep for Howell to the 5. Catches it. Falling forward. No, he dropped it. Lost it as he went to the turf. That was a double toss back opportunity pass for Clark Aberisk. And boy, you have to love this, Kent. No fear from Mike Lieben going deep into the playbook, but it's 2nd and 10 with 1:32 to go from the 37.
And was Blake Howell open? He had to wait on it. If that was put in stride, that's 6 points, and it's the first lead of the game for Thousand Oaks. Instead, by the time Aberisk got the throw off, it was a little bit behind his intended target, and Howell still nearly corralled the pass and got it inside of the 5. But you're right. That shows that you have confidence in your quarterback and you have confidence in your playmakers. But nonetheless, it's only 2nd and 10, so it's worth the chance.
Two to the far side, one of the near receivers. Aberisk back to pass. Here comes a blitz. Aberisk sets up a screen for DeBakis. He is absolutely drilled at the 35-yard line. Big time hit. Christian Dearborn bringing the wood. It's a gain of 2 on the completion. Sets up 3rd down and 8.
It was a howitzer going right in and just lifting the big DeBakis right off his feet. And now with just over a minute left, clock will continue to run. Ball on the 35. And remember, they're probably quite not in field goal range, so you have to think they're going to have at least one opportunity here to go for the first down, and then an interesting 4th down decision if they can't get it.
55, clock continues to run. Aberisk looks to both his receivers, one on either side of the set, double tight. DeBakis is the lone back. Here comes the blitz. Aberisk throws, out pass, completes it to Wiley right near the sticks, and it'll depend on the spot. Looks like he got the first down at the 27-yard line. Indeed he does. 42.9 to go in the 4th.
Great pass, nice play by Wiley to make sure he has the first down, he has his feet down, he has possession of the football, and then most importantly at that point, get out of bounds. Everything Wiley needed to do on that play, he did. And now in field goal range are the Thousand Oaks Lancers. Plenty of time to try to work towards an easier field goal. And again, they still might go for a touchdown. They have faith in their quarterback, and they have a lot of faith in their wide receivers, especially Blake Howell. 3-4
defense from Moorpark. Aberisk turns, will give on the draw for DeBakis. He's tripped up. Gets out to about the 25-yard line. Gain of 2. Clock stops with 35.2 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Thousand Oaks takes their second timeout of this second half.
Well, now you're faced with a second and about 9. Ball just outside of the 25. If you have confidence in your kicker, again, that 41-yard field goal that Sutcliffe missed earlier, he was not short on, so he has the distance. However, you have the playmakers on the outside. You still have a running back that shows very good ability here in the second half of picking up yardage after contact. So you can afford to run the football one more time, and you say, hey, if DeBakis breaks it, good. And if he doesn't break it, maybe he picks up 4 or 5 yards, and then all of a sudden we have a decision to make on a potential field goal as time expires. So a lot of opportunities and a lot of decisions coming up here for this Thousand Oaks team, and I think if you're Coach Lieben, though, you at least want to be able to test this defense one more time just to see if they can stop the wide receivers like Howell, and not to mention DeBakis. If you can get him out in open space on the outside, it's not going to be easy for this defense to bring him down.
24-24 the score. Eric Evelhoch and Kent Brown with you on NewsTalk 1520 KVTA and the Home Field Sports Broadcasting Network. Second down and a long 8 from the 26 ball on the far side hash for Thousand Oaks. 2 receivers to the near side of the set, double tight. Landon Pauling will go from right to left, double tight on the near side. Back to pass is Abarisk, rolls to the near side, looking, throwing for Wiley, and he led him too far, out of bounds at the 15-yard line. 28.6 seconds to go. Third down and long coming up for Thousand Oaks.
What's dangerous about a play like that is what if you get called for holding? Then you take yourself out of field goal range. And when Abarisk was moving to his left, I thought I saw one of the offensive linemen give a little jersey, just a slight jersey pull to one of the defensive linemen. If they call that holding, all of a sudden you're outside of the 35 and everything changes. So on this play here with one timeout left, if you have faith in your kicker's leg, you might just want to run it, set up something right down the middle of the field, and see if he can make a 40-yard field goal.
Double tight, receivers on either side of the set. Motions Pauling. Now we'll send him back to the left side while Abarisk in the shotgun. Turns, gives for DeBakis. DeBakis drives up the middle beyond the 25-yard line. He's brought down at about the 23. 20 seconds. Clock continues to run. I don't know why Moorpark isn't taking a timeout here to try and save things. Coach Lieben standing on the field on the far side, waiting to take his final timeout of the game, and he will stop the clock with 2.1 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Tied 24-24. Jamie Sutcliffe, can you be a hero?
And I also never understand why a lot of coaches there choose to just let the clock run down as opposed to maybe giving your team one more chance if they make the field goal. Because if he makes it, at least you have 15, 16, maybe 20 seconds left to try something on special teams or maybe one Hail Mary on offense. Now all of a sudden you're solely putting this game on the kicker. Granted, Sutcliffe tonight is just 1 of 4 on field goals. He's missed a 41-yard attempt, he's missed a 23-yard attempt, and he's missed a 35-yard attempt, and he's made a 27-yard attempt. So he has the leg. We have no doubt about that. But he's missed 2 out of 2 on this side. So he's been flawlessly poor on this side in terms of kicking. He's already missed 2, but again, he has the leg. It's a 40-yard attempt right down the middle.
Ball centered on the hashes. Jamie Sutcliffe will kick from the hold of Michael Wadman. All the big boys into block for Moorpark. 2.1 to go. This for the game for Thousand Oaks. Snap down, kick up on the way. Time expires, and it's good! The Thousand Oaks Lancers are 1-0 in Marmonte League play. The boys in white swarm off the far side sidelines. The green hole comes pouring over the fence, and the Lancers win 27-24 on a 40-yard field goal by senior Jamie Sutcliffe.
And that possession starts at their own 8, and they go all the way down to the 23-yard line and kick the game-winning 42-yard field goal. As impressive a final drive, and you have to give a lot of credit to the kicker, Sutcliffe. He's already missed 3 field goals, and that time, right down the middle, 40-yard field goal good as time expires. And what a heartbreaking defeat for Moorpark, having to lead the entire game until right at the end.
Landon Pauling, helmet raised aloft at the 45-yard line. He turned and had words for Jamie Sutcliffe before attempting that field goal. Sutcliffe had missed 3 prior attempts in the ball game. Good from 40 yards out, and the Thousand Oaks Lancers, as they go through the handshake line, defeat the Moorpark Musketeers 27-24 in as good a game as you can ask for under the Friday night lights here on the Ventura County High School Football Game of the Week on NewsTalk 1520 KVTA and the Home Field Sports Broadcasting Network. Just unbelievable composure on that drive shown by junior quarterback Clark Aberisk. You know, I hate to say this because I don't like to make comparisons in a game like this, but Grant Rohach throws 3 interceptions in the ball game. Clark Aberisk, no turnovers, 2 touchdowns, does everything that Coach Mike Lieben asks of him, leads his Lancers down the field into position to kick the game-winning field goal, and Jamie Sutcliffe seals it for Thousand Oaks in thrilling fashion.
And Rohach on his final 2 possessions, 2 interceptions. On the other hand, you have Aberisk works his team in the manageable field goal range, and you're right. 0 turnovers. Sometimes the game, we mentioned in the pregame, goes down to which quarterback doesn't turn the ball over, and it was pretty evident. Aberisk had a very solid game, and then you have to give credit to winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. In that second half, Thousand Oaks did a much better job with their offensive line creating holes for DeBakis, because in the first half, DeBakis couldn't get anything going. In the second half, he was terrific. Now finished with over 100 yards on the game. Aberisk had a very good game, and of course, you have to give a lot of credit in terms of playmaking ability. Blake Howell goes 73 yards on an offensive touchdown reception, and then he goes 73 yards on a defensive interception for a touchdown. So Blake Howell all over the field. Just a terrific effort out of this team for Thousand Oaks tonight. But a heartbreaking defeat for Moorpark, and we kind of thought, yeah, it might be another overtime game like last year. Well, Thousand Oaks says, hey, you know what, Eric and Kent, we want to send you home a little early. It's time for Sutcliffe to redeem himself. And then how about Sutcliffe? He goes 1 of 4 up until that moment. His only made field goal was 27 yards, but he steps up with as much pressure as you could ever imagine and hits the 40-yarder. And so he kind of redeems himself. Might have only been 2 of 5, but you'll take a game-winning field goal out of your kicker under those circumstances.
27-24, Thousand Oaks in thrilling fashion. They move to 2-0 on the season. Moorpark falls to 1-1, and perhaps more importantly, it gives Thousand Oaks that inside track for the league championship, as they have taken the first of the major showdown matches in Marmonte League play. We'll have plenty more thoughts for you, final stats and summation here from Moorpark High School, but we're going to send it back to the studio. Tyler Blackwell and Ryan Graff to catch you up on all the action around the 805 in high school football. Once again, the Thousand Oaks Lancers trail all game long until the end, and on a 40-yard field goal from Jamie Sutcliffe, they defeat the Moorpark Musketeers 27-24. This is the Ventura County High School Football Game of the Week on NewsTalk 1520 KVTA and the Home Field Sports Broadcasting Network.
You're listening to the Ventura County High School Football Game of the Week on NewsTalk 1520 KVTA and the Home Field Sports Broadcasting Network.